In this video, I'm going to answer the question all you magic money hodlers have had on your minds since 2018, when Moon, when Lambo. I will share a price and time target for the next major top in Bitcoin. However, this video is not financial advice. If you would like to enter the market with laser eyes, using another loan to deposit on Shilbit with a 50x shitcoin long, you need to go to a crypto rehab. Apparently, this is actually a thing. This sort of scenario playing out in my emotional analysis chart tends to happen after a divorce and all your capital has been liquidated.
I took a loan out on every single one of my 5 properties, and I maxed that out, and then was able to get some further loans through, my bank, and I put it all in Bitcoin, and it was. I honestly thought that we were going to ride the wave up to maybe it was going to hit 20,000, and it did. And then I thought it was going to hit 24, and then at 24 I would sell it and then pay back everything. And then it kept going down, and in the back of my mind I believed that it was just going to be going back up. Almost 70% of my investment. So I put it all in Tron.
Okay. Let's take a look at this chart I have been fashioning for untold hours due to having autistic spectrum disorder. I expect you are thinking it looks like a complete mess, but don't worry. I'm going to break everything down so that it can be clearly understood. The first thing to explain are the blue and red horizontal channels. These can be described as a risk map for Bitcoin's cycles. Low risk is in blue, with the darkest blue being the lowest areas of risk. High risk is in the red channels, with the highest risk being dark red. The white midline plays a key role in Bitcoin's price developments. Typically, passing this indicates the formation of a bubble. The midline can act as support. However, if price comes into contact with it after entering high-risk channels, it results in a rapid spill or capitulation, and price returns to low risk. Despite having charted this, I believe this risk map will eventually invalidate to the downside. Bitcoin's growth is likely to slow down over time as the market matures. Higher market caps require more money from market participants to make the price move a given percentage, causing ROI to diminish. I will govern my estimation of the next channel or heat map in relation to its approximate height and upwards slope. Here are some examples from early Bitcoin. I've outlined some steeper channels to show this effect. I've also projected a realistic scenario for the formation of a shallower channel following the next bear market. One of my current theories is that the next top for Bitcoin could take place at or near the midline. There are several reasons behind this thesis. Now, I will explain the other tools I'm using on this chart, which can be seen plotted across the risk map. The diagonal lines are horizontal Fibonacci extensions, based on the vertical angle of the risk map. Fibonacci rings can also be seen. These rings are based on the sloping horizontal angle of the risk map. Price will interact when contacting the Fibonacci rings and sloping extensions with the same rule. They can be viewed similarly to trend lines and horizontal levels. Typically they are expected to be resistance until the price passes them. Then, a pivot or a volatile move can occur. If they are later retested, then they typically act as support or resistance in the opposite direction. I've color-coded the rings and extensions that caused a bullish move in green and the ones that have resulted in bearish price in red. The white rings are correlated with major market tops, although when they are later crossed, they signal major bottoms. Watch this chart play out to see exactly how price behaves within the channels and reacts when coming into contact with the rings and Fibonacci extensions.
Take a slide.
My interpretation of this chart has generated a target in price and time for the next major top in Bitcoin. This is based on the confluence between multiple data points. 1. A trend line showing the relative rate of decline between the December 2017 high and the April 2021 high. 2. The 5.236 Fibonacci ring. 3. The 3.618 extension relating to the top and bottom of the 2022 bear market, not in log scale extension. This exact same 3.618 extension called the April and November 2021 top when measuring the height of the 2018 bear market top to bottom. And finally, 4. The upwards sloping midline. These all cross each other at the same point in price and time, which is 14th of August 2024 at a price of 208k. The 5.414 sloped extension is also very close to intersecting at the same point, but is not as confluent. The bull market we are going into appears to be a fifth wave belonging to a larger supercycle. I may not be the only person to have speculated this. However, it's possible that I'm the only person to have bothered making macro wave counts and sub-wave counts dating back to October 2010 to strengthen the thesis. Note the theoretical 5-wave supercycle that has occurred. Also note the second theoretical 5-wave supercycle that may be in play. If the 13.8k high in June 2019 was a wave 1, the 2020 COVID crash a wave 2, the high in 2021 wave 3, and the November 2022 lower wave 4, then it would be logical to view a bull run into 2024 as the final fifth wave of a long supercycle. If this were true, what would the implications be after wave 5? I think it would likely result in a long bear market that would take Bitcoin below the lowest risk blue channel and potentially lower than wave 3 from 2021 before putting in a macro reversal. Let's have a look to see if this has happened before in early Bitcoin. I can see two instances. One from October 2010 to October 2011. Bitcoin created a 5-wave structure, and traded above the midline before entering a corrective pattern that caused it to capitulate on a revisit of the midline and then capitulate again on the low of the channel. In November 2011, a shallower channel was formed before Bitcoin made another 5-wave structure past the midline. It topped near the high of the channel, before entering a similar corrective structure. That resulted in a capitulation at the midline and final capitulation at the bottom of the channel, bringing price below the height of wave 3. Take a look at the projection I've made illustrating the same breakdown in market structure following our potential fifth wave. I have also projected the next channel width and adjusted angle. I have projected the next channel width and adjusted slope based on 3 data points, connecting 2 previous macro highs from 2022 and 2018 to set the slope, and then drawing the channel height down to the lowest data point at the COVID low. This is highly theoretical. I imagine a common critique to this methodology would be to say that by using these tools, I'm able to fit the data however I like. I would like to point out that my approach is to use a variety of different tools to find areas of high interest and confluence in price and time. While there is a degree of subjective selection, there are also rules to be followed. For example, The rings and extensions must be valid Fibonacci values and based on existing relevant macro highs and lows. I created the risk map on 12th of July 2022, 472 days so far. It has been very accurate at identifying low risk since its creation. You can see for yourself on my TradingView account. The link to my TradingView and Twitter account will be provided in the description. The levels on this chart have the potential to be used for shorter-term swing trades, and I will likely experiment with that. Disclaimer: this is probably the last attempt I will ever make at trying to crystal ball a market cycle top. People smarter than me have been trying to call tops since the dawn of time, and they almost always suck. I do not expect it to be completely accurate, and my main reason for doing it is for my amusement. If I happened to get lucky enough to actually nail the date and time of the top, it would be hilarious. To clarify, I will not be waiting for a magic number or time to be met before I trigger a 100% sell. I will be taking profits gradually as we progress into 2024. Markets have a high degree of entropy and respond to the collective behavior of people. Sometimes it is fairly predictable. Other times not so much.
So the market cap is $2.168 trillion. And now the market, oh! Oh! It went to zero! Yo!
I hope you enjoy this dose of autism brought to you by cryptographics. In the next video we'll be covering what I expect to see in 3 different indicators if we see a 5th wave bull run play out in 2024. I'm also planning a video on a more conventional curved logarithmic chart that I made outlining cycle phases and time frames. I will share my thoughts on the advantages and disadvantages over this method versus refitting parallel channels. A demonstration showing the pros and cons of today's style of analysis compared to classic analysis may be worth including too. Credit to Optical Art for demonstrating these alternative methods in his videos. And don't worry, I haven't forgotten about XRP or altcoins. Like and subscribe. Until next time.